Hello there, I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat, and you are on the Love Train. Hello, Barbara and Jane. Look at that. Jason Ledford. Hello, Todd. Hi, Arwa. Look, everybody. My friend Lisa Trimble. Good to see you, Lisa. There's a whole bunch more. I don't want to scroll up or I'll get lost. You know how I do that. So, hello, Todd McCausland. There's a good dude. Yeah, crazy day, huh? Interesting day shooting in Michigan. Hi, Brock Bandy. That's not my get down to be doing. Tommy's going to be talking about that tonight. But bottom line is, it doesn't matter who did it. It's a battle of good and evil. It's just the way it is. David Booley, good to see you. Jeremy Fowler, hello. Styling One. Glad you guys are here. I had kind of a busy day. I had some things that did a lot of running around. I was trying to plan for a different show, and my day kind of got gobbled up. Kristen Melinda. Good to see you, Jeremy Fowler. Very good to see everybody tonight. So, what's going on with you guys? Barbara. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. Just one of the many reasons we'd like to get the heck out of Michigan. Beautiful though it is. I've seen a lot of changes in the last 20 years in Michigan. For real. There are more mosques in Michigan than there are churches. True story. Hello, Chris, the Grumpy Gill. Good to see you, man. Hello there. Glad to see you. Toby Reveley's here. How cool. There's Josh Cohen. Please say hello to the Cohen family. It's a nice family there. Isn't that weird where we're at? It's almost like, I remember, it's like, aren't we all like sitting around waiting for the next big thing to happen? It is. It's very sad what happened there, David Booley. Keith Kingman, thanks for being here. Terribly sad. And the answer is love and prayer, and you got to get our act together, man. Ryan Simmons, good to see you. Peppers and Faith. Gouthie, good to see you. There's Herja. Whoops, hit the wrong one. There's Arwa saying hello to Jeremy, but there's Herja. So I think we're going to do I know we're going to. I think it's today, Sunday. I think tomorrow might be a good day for a one hot minute, unless something happens and I come up with something different. There's my friend. Hello, Nelson Maxwell. Very good to see you. Glad you're here. So tell me what you guys have any questions about Peppers or me or Faith? Throw it out there. It's an anything goes kind of day. Uh-oh. We got Tommy Scoville lurking, preparing. There's John McCarty. Hello, Mr. Johnny, my Pepper community. Unfortunately, I'm feeling under the weather tonight. Oh, man, I'll keep in my prayers, John. I'm calling an early night. I'll catch you tomorrow. Remember, we are all one. Yeah, united we stand, divided we're in trouble. Big trouble. And they know that. That's why they try to keep us divided. Disclosure, Aaron. Hey, man, as soon as this stream's over, expect an email from me, dude. Feel bad. I'll send an email. It's a crazy time we're living in. But that's the truth, man. It's divide and conquer. It's man, as old as dirt. It's what they do. Grumpy Gill says, we need to send you chocolate warthog somehow. You know what? Probably possible. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, to be honest with you. I've had peppers sent to me from when I was living in Tucson. I had peppers. They were Reaper Beast, and they were sent to me from Germany. They arrived on a Monday. They were so good, I didn't eat them until Friday. True story. And then I had peppers when I was living in Fort Mill. Aaron DiGiorno, not once, but twice, sent me pods in the mail. So it can be done. Like, we're only like a 6-hour flight from Miami. However, when we got here, it was like, it took a lot more than 6 hours. Psalm 118:28, good to see you. What peppers do not go well together? You know what? I don't think, I'm a weirdo, man. All peppers go well. I mean, there's certain sauce that won't go well with a dish, or peppers that may not go well with a dish, but it's up to you. I mean, most people, when you think, like, good example, most people, when you think about hot sauce, Fisher Brago, good to see you, man. Look at that. Most people, when they think of hot sauce, or look at that, together we stand, divided we fall. True story. Good to see you, Fish. Most people, when you think of like hot sauce that you would put on ice cream, what do you think of? You think of fruit-based sauces. That's what everybody does. I have put Fear This on hot sauce on ice cream. And Fear This is not a fruit-based sauce. Yeah, Fowler right there with the ranch. If you guys have any comments, throw capital C's in front of it. I will notice it easier. If you have questions, throw some Q's in there, just like my friend Josh just did. Ranch on peppers or not? You know what? I'm not a ranch guy. The only time I like ranch if I'm dipping like broccoli in it, but like I know people that put like ranch on pizza. I cannot abide. I cannot abide. Aftershock is a great sauce company. It's by my friend Jeff McGinnis, who owns what's he calling it now? I think he's calling it Razorberry Hot Sauce. And he specializes in fruit-based dessert sauces. And Aftershock is an apricot hot sauce for ice cream that he makes for desserts and cheesecake. And it's really good. Look at that fish, Barella, on your wife's account. Good to see you, Barella. I did not know that. You had me fooled. Girthquake, so good to see you. What is the biggest pickle you've ever seen? That's a great question. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I love pickles. I love pickle juice. Like, are you one of those people that when the pickles are done, do you like pour the juice out? I don't think I've ever done that. I usually drink the juice while I'm eating the pickles. So by the time the pickles are almost gone, there's no more juice anyway. But I love pickles and I love pickle juice. And I've seen big pickles, you know what I mean? That's an interesting question. I don't know. Sorry, I don't have a better answer for you. Very quick. Jason says an Aftershock and Sweet Sizzle Drizzle, favorite ice cream sauces. They're wonderful. Listen, they are great sauces. He's in Vermont, by the way. My old living a lot of years. Bully says you're all awesome. You guys are. Wes Lightburn, there's another dude who's hurt me mightily. Thank you for being here, Wes. I'm a big, giant blue cheese fan. Love blue cheese. You know what I use blue cheese for a lot? I don't know if you guys ever do this. RES, good to see you. I eat, like Tommy and I make steak fairly, and blue cheese on steak is incredible. I think it is. Well, I'm way behind. Caught up now. Jason says his wife drinks pickle juice all the time. I only like the pickles if they're battered and deep fried. I don't think I've ever had fried pickles. Ever. Yeah, I don't think I've had them. But I like pickles. You know, there's been in the last 5 years, 6 years, there's been a great a bunch of pickle-based hot sauces that are fantastic. And if you like pickles, you'll be like, wow, it's really good. Some of them are a little bit sweet, almost relishy, and some are not, almost dill-like. It's great. Blue cheese is great. It's horseradish on the prime rib. Yeah, for sure, styling one. On prime rib, that is amazing. Usually, I just like salt and pepper on steaks, but blue cheese is really good. Jason says, love blue cheese. I eat it by itself. I do too. We eat a lot of blue cheese. RAS, Naga Viper, I've eaten a lot. Kind of like it's a great pepper. They're hot. I enjoy them. I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's in the same family as the ghost peppers. Fowler says, blue horseradish shaved steak. How much better on the planet? Shaved steak. Oh. We're really fortunate here because the steak is incredibly cheap. It's Argentine and grass-fed aged beef, and it's like you can get a tomahawk for $7. It's absurd. I don't know if you ever saw the shorts I did. We went to the grocery store, and I'm not joking you. Tomahawk steaks were from like $7. A huge one was like $11. But you can get like it's crazy. You can get like ribeyes for like $5. T-bones for $4. I'm serious. It's bizarre. Tribble says, I think I'm ready to try some hotter, not the hottest sauce. What is a medium fruit-based dessert sauce? You know what Blueberry Hell is? Excuse me. Blueberry Hell from Hellfire Hot Sauce is a really, really good. And, you know, Aftershock is very good as well. But here's the thing you got to remember, Lisa, about sauce for dessert. Even if they're super, super hot sauces, the dairy is going to really water down and really kind of diffuse a lot of the heat. So, and the great thing about that is you really get the flavor, but you don't really get the commitment of the burn as if you put it on a taco or something. So it's really, really good. 119:28. Sam says, I've drunk pickle juice at 2 a.m. for an upset stomach. You know what? I never get an upset stomach for no reason. If I get an upset stomach.
Mustard works too.
Yeah, mustard, Tommy says, works good. Ryan Simmons says, Scotch bonnet, new favorite pepper, next Reaper. What's my favorite pepper? I have a couple of different answers for that. For flavor, to be really honest with flavor, any of the ahi pods. They're amazing. Any ahi pod is just incredible. And there's a bunch of really ahi fantasy, ahi delight, ahi amarillo. There's a bunch. If it says ahi, you're going to like it. So for flavor, those probably are my favorite as far as lower heat. For the really hot ones, for look, as far as looks, do you hear that? Was it backfiring? No, you know what? I think it was fireworks. Fireworks happen all the time here. For looks, like as far as phenotype, my favorite is an RB003. Hi, Dale Cox. Good to see you. It is a spectacular pepper. Looks, as far as looks, it's incredible. It's not quite, it kind of disappointed me in heat, probably only because it looks so unbelievable. As far as pure heat, like if I'm looking just for the hottest, it's the Warthog. I've eaten a lot of peppers, man, like a lot of them. I've never eaten anything as hot as a Warthog. Chris, the Grumpy Gill, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that. Has anyone recognized you from Chase the Heat there yet? Have you found super odds? If not, what level of heat have you come across? For pods, they've been all medium heat. I had a red habanero. I have some peppers in the fridge right now, but I don't think they're really hot. I've had one and it wasn't very hot, but it was tasty. I'm going to eat one this week, maybe all of them this week and on video probably. I have been, you know, it's funny when we first got here, Chris, I thought people were recognizing me a lot. In America, it happens all the time. It just does. And like I'd be walking around and people would just say, you know, here's the thing. When you do a channel and people, you get bigger, people kind of, it's almost like an ownership thing. Like I'm their chili head. And they're very, very, hi, Susie. Good to see you. And they're very, very comfortable walking up and just sort of talking to me. Ricky Beach, good to see you, man. So when we first got here, and what happens in the States is you'll get, I don't know, you ever feel like someone's looking at you? I can feel it. Hey, you kick that AC on, dude? Sorry, I should have told you. I can feel people staring at me, and I look over, and somebody's got a camera up. And so that kind of happened in America a lot. So here, when Tommy and I first got here, people would look at us a lot. But then it sort of occurred to me, because I'm a foot tall. Tommy and I are like a foot taller than everybody here. And I'm, you know, just bigger and heavier and just a bigger dude. And I'm white. I'm also white and I'm bald. Ecuadorians don't lose their hair, man. They all have amazing hair. So I thought when I first got here, I was getting recognized a lot. After being here for a little while, it occurred to me. I just stand out like white on rice. I stand out and they look at me. So, and plus there's two of us walking around and we look like twins. So like we're used to, you know, we're all used to seeing twins. It's part of life, you know, but the older, usually when you see twins, and correct me if I'm wrong, Toofer, good to see you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get to that question and flag it. If you have any questions, throw some capital Q's in front of it. If you have comments, throw some capital C's and jump out at me. So it occurred to me that, you know, anyway, with twins, usually you see twins, they're little, right? They're little. You see twins, they're little. How often do you see twins that are in their 50s that are walking around together? It's kind of an unusual thing. It does usually happen. So a lot of the reasons people are staring at for that. I only know of one actual case or situation where somebody recognized me. I was walking to the bank and I came down the stairs and took a left. There was a woman. She was about a foot taller than the guy she was walking with, and she walked by me. Night Rider, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I will get to your questions. Just put Q's or C's in front of it. Comments, questions. Good to see you, Night Rider. Anyway, she was walking by me. She smiled at me. She said, Bueno. I said, Bueno. She walked by me. Then I heard, hey, I watch you on, she said it with a Spanish, with an accent, but she said, I watch you on TV. Oh, yeah, it happened at the hotel. It did. I forgot about that one. It was funny. I was at the hotel. I was on the phone with like one of the most important people I know, and I was sitting there, and one of the guys from the hotel that worked there. This is the weirdest thing in the world. He walked up to me and he said he took his phone and showed it to me, and he had a picture. There's a picture of Tommy. Either I'm kissing Tommy or Tommy's kissing me on the cheek, and we were in our living room in the kitchen in Tucson. And he showed it to me, and he said. He spoke English, kind of broken English. It was he said, sorry, I didn't know. So I think he took a picture and did a reverse image search or something. I said, what do you mean you didn't know? He's like, just a normal guy. I swear I am. When we left there, I swear it's a true story. When we left there, a couple of them were in tears. It was amazing. And since we've left, we've gone back. We've gone back to that hotel. Was it 2 or 3 times? 3 times, and they have an amazing ceviche. They really do. It's very, very good. It's one of the few places, it's the only place that we've been to that will put avocado on the top of the ceviche, and they're just really, really nice. So I'm going to go back to that restaurant or that hotel in a couple of weeks. But he said, I said, listen, I'm a normal guy. Please, nothing special. I promise you. So let me. So Josh says, I have a confession. I'm not a chili head. I have a weak, pathetic stomach. Don't banish me. Dude, I love you. You know that. I wouldn't banish you. You're my dude. And you know what? It's a tolerance thing. Nobody, if you see somebody who's all buff and they're huge, they didn't wake up that way one day. Just they're all of a sudden huge. You know what I mean? You're going to work out. You don't go to the gym and start pushing 200 pounds on, bench press. It takes time. You got to work up to it. Peppers are the same thing. It takes, oh no, car accident in front of my house. Be right back. Jeez, I hope that's okay, Keith. Prayers for them. It's a big man. It really is. Anyway, I like, that's one of the really neat things about being here. It's just a normal guy. Not that I wasn't a normal guy in America, but it happened a lot. Like I've told this before, I was sitting in a restaurant, pizza joint, eating pizza with my son, Johnny Jr. I had that same feeling, like somebody's watching me. I look to my left, and there's a dude holding his phone up. Johnny, he's filming me. I said, are you filming me? He goes, no, I'm just taking pictures. He left. We were still eating. He left and posted a video on Instagram and tagged me in it after telling me he wasn't taking the video. But here it's like, I'm just a normal expat. Everybody, it's a small city, so they're used to seeing me. So they just waved to me. I waved to them. Pretty cool thing. Twofer, what was the last game I played? Wow. Tetris. No, I mean, here's the thing. When I was a young guy, I played videos. I was a gamer. But that was a long, long time ago. What was the last video game you and I played together? Contra. I can't believe you remember that. We were into it, but other things kind of take precedence. My list of priorities changed big time. You know what? I do like driving games. You know what? I remember a driving game. I had Dreamcast where I was first. You guys remember Dreamcast? And I had what was the name of that game? I don't remember what the game was. It was a racing game, driving game, and it was like it was in Tokyo. And you go to the airport, and you would start with a small car, and you race people, and you get money, and pick up 5 horsepower. Then you just build your car up. And that was the only game I ever beat. I beat that game. It was pretty cool. I actually did it twice. I don't remember what the name of the game was. It was a great game. So that was a lot. I do like driving games. Here's the thing, man. You know what? When you get to be my age, nothing makes you feel like an old dude than trying to play a video game. Dina! Hello, Dina. 43 watching, 31 likes. Take a like, folks. Hey, Dina. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Tommy says we're all stumbling along. It's the human condition. Some have assistance. Yeah, man. We're all God's creatures trying to find our way. It's the truth, man. What?
Josh, go with that code.
Johnny says, up, down, left, right, select start, contra code. Wow, you got a problem, John. That's how you start the game with a scatter gun. That's hilarious. Man, that's funny. Isn't that funny? So I can't believe you remember that. How many years ago was that? That was in I know, I don't either. David Bully, what's my thought on fermented hot sauces? I have a thing for it. Here's the thing. I think a lot of people that like fermented hot sauces do because so many people, their first, introduction to hot sauce, if you can agree with this, put a 2 in the chat, but Tabasco. So many people in America, their first, run with hot sauce is Tabasco. 25 or 30 years ago. Thanks, Josh. And that was uncalled for, Tommy says. But I think because my first sauce that kind of introduced me, it's my gateway sauce. I really have a thing for fermented sauce. That funky flavor, that funky aroma. Weirdo. Ricky says, what is the best hot sauce you can buy at a local Walmart? You know what? The closest Walmart to me, what's about 5,000, 6,000 miles away? Yeah, it's a long, I don't know currently. I don't really know. Sorry. I live in South America now. So, but, here's the great thing about hot sauce. It's growing every single day. And every time you go to a store, you're going to see different hot sauce than you did the last. That's a good thing. Now, here where I live here, Tommy and our favorite store is Super Maxi, and they have some amazing sauces. And when I tell you dirt cheap, I mean dirt cheap. Like there are some sauces for under $1. True story. Some of them are like, most of them are under $2, some are under $3. If you can buy Tabasco here, it's like $8 a bottle for a bottle of Tabasco. Talking to Lisa, Dale says, listen to Broken Roots. They're a band that sings about the Bible and Jesus and God. You guys ever hear of Striper? Remember the heavy metal band Striper? Or Striper? If you ever get a chance to watch that, the lead singer is also the lead guitarist. And I'm telling you, he'll sing these melodic voicings while improvising a ripping guitar solo at the same time. Guy's a freak. I don't know how he does that. I really don't. Chris says that tolerance is a strange thing. How do you adjust mentally in doing reviews as your tolerance grew? It seems harder to review pods when your tolerance is high. It is a strange thing. Here's the funny thing. My ability to review, my palate changed. I don't know if my palate changed or I just got better at describing what I was tasting. But as the time went by, you got to remember, I've eaten thousands and thousands of peppers, right? So the higher your tolerance gets, the more you're going to be able to taste, right? Use the example all the time. If you have two people, one has a low tolerance and one has a spooky high tolerance, and they both eat a warthog. The guy that has a really, really high tolerance, it doesn't hurt it as quickly, so you have a much wider window to process what you're tasting. The guy that has no tolerance, immediately he's overrun with pain. And your brain can't process what you're tasting while you're in pain. Pain overrides it all. Like, I can't taste that. So the higher your tolerance gets, the more I personally was able to taste. On top of that, I just got better at describing, what I was actually tasting. So thank you for the question, Chris. I'm back. Everyone is okay. Traded insurance. Oh, they were on their way. Thank God it wasn't serious. Amen. Hi, Renee B. I'm glad you're here. When my autistic son was about 14, he wanted breakfast burritos every morning for breakfast. He put Cholula on everyone. Cholula is actually a great hot sauce, and if I'm not mistaken, see, isn't it Kristen's? Here we go. It was Kristen's Gateway. Cholula, High Desert Sauce Company, spicy adobo. That's that sauce. That was her first small batch, and Swampadelic was her first melt or face off. Those are all great sauces. High Desert Sauce Company. He made a series of black garlic sauces. And I'm not kidding. The black garlic soy sauce. I would open it up. I would put it on like ramen noodles. I'd get 2 meals out of it for the whole bottle. This stuff is so good. Braxton, have I tried a pepper called Thor's Thunderbolt? I have not. Piqued my curiosity. Great name, right? Thor's Thunderbolt. Do you have any idea what the genetics are? I'd be curious. Vernon, how will I celebrate my 60th birthday? Boy, that's weird to hear. Kind of offended you asked. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I like getting older. You know that? I mean, 60 is a weird one, but I like getting older. I do. The older I get, I swear this is the truth, the older I get, the happier I get. I don't know why that is. There were times when I was young. Young is hard. It just is. With that, I got to get, you know what? It's a limited sauce, bro. I don't know if he has any left. It was a limited run. Hope you can. But Brock says that black garlic soy sauce didn't last long here. Boy, it really is. And it's such a bummer when you get a sauce like that. It's a limited run. I don't know. I don't celebrate anymore. I don't go out and do things like that as far as partying. So my 60th, I'll probably, what I'm going to do? I'll do what I'm doing now if you'll have me. You know what? Who knows if I'll even be here when I'm 60. Life is weird, right? This building was shaking a month ago, swinging back and forth. We thought the thing was going down. I really did. Todd says, I love Melinda's ghost pepper. Yeah, you know what? It's a great sauce. It actually has some heat to it, and it tastes like ghost pepper. It's a good one. A lot of sauces, you get the heat, but you don't really taste the pepper that creates it. And so far, every sauce I've had here in Ecuador, you really taste the sauce. You taste the pepper. I think there was one where I could detect it by Astere. I think it was heat. I couldn't really detect it. The last one, the scorpion I had from Don Joaquin, forget about it. Piping hot. Gave me cat cramps for an hour and a half. Lawn Dog Jay, small batch, one of my favorite vendors, tried his tincture. Yeah, you know what? Jay small batch, his name is Jason Roby. He makes, or Jay Roby, his name. Wonderful guy. He makes, he was a mixologist in his former job. And what he does is he a lot of his stuff, it's very different than you'd think. It's not ridiculously hot. He has a lot that you put in like iced tea to put in drinks, and they're so good. He has some with balsamic. He used to anyway, with balsamic vinegar in it. They're just so amazing. But thank you, Arwa. You'll celebrate it with me. He makes great sauce. The very first sauce collaboration I ever did before, Tasty hot sauce. Long time ago, we did the Counselor, and it was a hot sauce that had. It was great. It was spicy, but it had horseradish in it. It was just it gave you kind of that the wasabi wiggle, that sort of thing. It had a great burn, and it was a delicious sauce. I liked it. All right, so Fowler says, I found that ghost pepper is the best starter to use or to see where your tolerance is truly at. If you have a tolerance, it takes days for the heat to show up, but it's painful immediately. But if it's painful immediately, well, you know what? Ghost pepper is a funny sauce, a funny pepper. It does take a while to build. It goes like this. It builds slowly like this, and it comes down slowly. Whereas if you have like a warthog, it goes like this. It comes down like that. It's pretty crazy. Cox, can I send you an email with a list of songs for you to listen to? How could I say no to that? I'm a pretty open-minded dude. I like music. Yeah, my email, you guys probably know it. Look at that. Melinda, again, showing why. Grace Ma. There's Astere. And here's Don Joaquin, the one that burned me silly. The Hornet sauce was Peck's Peppers, I believe. I think Peck's Peppers had the Hornet sauce. He made some great sauces. Dell thinks that everybody should listen to Broken Roots. Their songs are awesome and have messages from the Bible. You know what? I'm deeper into my faith now. A lot of you guys know that. I've been talking about it. I'm deeper in my faith now than I've been in a long, long time. It's a beautiful feeling. There's my email. If you guys have any, I get them all the time. If you were in yesterday's stream, you know I get them all the time. This morning, I didn't have any nasty emails, which was nothing. David Bully asks, what other sauces have horseradish that won't melt my face off? You know what? Here's the problem, man. I've been doing this a long time. I'm like Father Time of the chili community. I've been doing this a minute. I'm certain I've tried other sauces that had horseradish in it. I'd have to go to the playlist and kind of just type in horseradish and see what pops up. I wouldn't have done a sauce like that if I hadn't put it in the title. So more than likely, I'll be able to find it. I don't know. I mean, I've reviewed so many sauces. Currently, let me tell you, want to hear something funny? Let's see how much it is. I haven't checked in a little bit. Currently on Chase the Heat, your channel, our channel, there are 8,569 videos. I've been at it for a minute. Fowler says, I used to think Breaking Benjamin was a Christian-only band. Turns out they abandoned that idea. I'm not familiar with them. It's interesting. There are bands that you hear songs, and you're like, I know they're talking about God. Every once in a while, something will happen, and it motivates some lyrics. It's a beautiful thing. It's an evil industry. I'm telling you. I think. But if you really want some horseradish, Londa says horseradish in a sauce is pretty doggone rare. I would say very rare. If you want some really crazy horseradish, go to the Pepper Palace and ask for nasal napalm. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying nasal napalm. That can't be. Hi, Cindy G. Good to see you. Oh yes, nasal napalm. Here's the thing about nasal napalm. Anybody here in the chat ever try it? It's the funniest thing in the world. It absolutely has a mind. It wants to steal your oxygen. I don't know if Fowler says it's nasal napalm is stupid hot. It's stupid something. I don't know if it's hot. It's not hot like pepper's hot. I don't think it triggers the same. It's not like a capsaicin burn, but it's almost, garlic burns. If you ever eat a dry, like a whole garlic clove, it'll burn. I mean, garlic burns. But that nasal napalm wants to steal your oxygen. If you got it in front of you, it wants all the air in your lungs out. It'll suck the air out of you, and you'll cough. And Braxton says, nasal napalm maybe spit on the ground on accident. I don't know if you guys saw this, a short somewhere, or it's a video here somewhere. I went with College Boy. If you remember College Boy, he was. I worked with him for a while and did a lot of really, really great videos. It does hit you like smelling salt. We went to. It was so bad. We went to the Pepper Palace and we walked in. And I said, here's the thing. I'm not the biggest fan of the Pepper Palace. I mean, everything is overpriced. The thing that's amazing about it is if you buy something that you don't end up being happy with, it's your fault because you can taste everything. So you have a chance to taste everything before you buy it. They let you sample everything. At least they. It was also the first place I got recognized when I started the channel. No, that's not true. Second place. But we were going in. I said, dude, hi, Joel Latchin from Chicago. I said, you got to try this stuff called nasal napalm. He goes, what is that? I said, it's horseradish. I love it. So I said, when you smell it, when you go to taste it, you got to take a big smell of it. Is that bad? Am I a bad person? So he took a big smell of it and gagged and coughed. It's got punch to it. It really, really has punch to it. God loves it when you listen to music that glorifies him and sing to him. Imagine putting a smile on a creator's face. Wow, what's more awesome than that? And I love our creator. Boy, I do too. Every day, it's crazy. I think about it a lot. Here's the thing, man. If I gave you guys the keys to a Bentley, who'd drive it without insurance? Any of you? Any of you do that? There was a time where I probably would have. I was doing stupid. But if I had a Bentley, I wouldn't be driving it without insurance. I just wouldn't. Who would do that? Kind of stupid, right? Well, that's what you're doing if you don't have faith, if you aren't a believer. That's how I see it. And listen, if you have a counter opinion to me or you have a different faith, well, I'm not going to dump on you. But for me, I'm a Christian, and the idea of walking around like not being, I'm saved, I'm forgiven. Nothing I ever could do could earn my passage to heaven. Period. Well, I believe, and I've been forgiven. It's astonishing, but I can't imagine not having that. It scares the heck out of me. But I have friends. This is a really cool thing. I have friends that I know that within the last month have become believers. And it's the coolest thing. Not going to out one of them in particular, but this person, there's something different in their voice. When I talk to this person, I get laughter, like a lot. And this is something that didn't happen before. And it's so evident to me. It's so obvious to me that there is a monumental change in this person. It's so fantastic. It's really kind of cool. You know what's funny? I'm not a Bentley guy either. I'm not. If I would, here's the funny thing. You know what? I've changed so much. There was a period of time where Tom and I were driving matching Porsches. Hi, John. Mine was white. His was red. And we should drive like lunatics. But like, I think everybody it's like life. You know what I mean? Life is a weird journey, right? I can't speak for everybody, but for the people that I knew and hung out with, most people go through a period where you think like I should say most people. I went through a period of time where I thought like happiness were things you could acquire. You could buy them. You could buy things that would make you happy. Then you get to a place where you realize that none of those things matter. You ever hear about like rock stars and millionaires and like Anthony Bourdain? People have super crazy money and they off themselves. I think, like, here's the thing. This is my feeling. I feel like every one of us is born with a hole in our soul, right? And like in my case, I tried to fill that hole with money and drugs and women, and you know what I mean. And then what happens? The more you try to fill that hole in your soul, the bigger the hole gets, and the more hollow you feel. And you realize at some point, hopefully, you realize at some point that none of those things really work. You know, Jim Carrey did say it best. Jim Carrey said, I think before anybody dies, they should have a chance to be rich and famous for 15 minutes, just so you realize that is not what life is about. And I can tell you I'm not rich by any stretch, but as far as the famous thing, try to see how you like that. Here's the problem with that. If you do that, it's a bell you can't unring. Like I'm not famous. I'm not. But I promise you, in America, if I went out for 5 days, like just going to the store or something, of those 5 days, 3 of them, I'd be recognized by someone. You know what I mean? And there were times, and I never ever was rude to anybody. Every time anybody ever wanted a picture, they get one. Once I was kind of rude to somebody. Want to hear a funny story? Thoughts on Metallica, Doom. I as far as musically, here's the thing. I love AC/DC. I grew up with them. I love Metallica. I play guitar. They have some of the heaviest riffs. Just amazing. I'm a fan. Now, I don't listen to as much as I used to, but I'm a fan. But I was in an airport. I was traveling somewhere. I don't remember where I was going. I know I was going international because I was in an international part of the airport. So I don't know where I was going. I can't remember. I've done a lot of traveling. One year I did. I flew 252,000 miles in 1 year. I don't remember which year it was. It's a lot of traveling. But this is hilarious. I was in the airport, and this woman, she looked just like my art teacher in high school. I swear she really did. She looked just like her. Like this, like she hadn't aged. So obviously it's not her, but I looked at her, I was like, wow, that looks like my art teacher. And she looked at me, and I'm like, oh, she recognized me. You can tell. I mean, it's weird. I don't know. I'm like, oh, here we go. I could tell. And she walked up to me, and she said, Johnny Stovall. I said, hey, how are you? I said, good. And she said, this is funny. She said, I've been watching you for years. I've heard this many times. I've seen every one of your videos. No, you haven't. You haven't. There's not a person on the planet who's seen every one of my videos. Nobody. 8,005. No, nobody has seen every. And if you found me today and watched 2 videos a day, it would take you 20 years to watch them. Nobody's watched every video. But she says, I watched every video. I said, well, that's very nice. She goes, I've always wanted to ask you a question. I said, go ahead. She looks at me with an absolute straight face. She goes, what are your pronouns? I said, huh? Sorry, what? And I'm waiting for a punchline. She goes, what are your pronouns? I said, you've watched me for a long time? She goes, yeah. I said, I gave off the vibe that I'm a pronoun guy. Listen, somebody, hey, listen, I've ran telemarketing rooms for a while. I did it for years. I've hired a bunch of people. Maybe we're Tony one day and now want me to call them Nancy. I'm not going to not call them Nancy. I'm a nice guy. I'm going to call them the name they want to be called. I will. I swear to you, I will. But every time I was hiring somebody, they were interviewing somebody, and I saw pronouns, that's a problem. That's going to be somebody that I hired. That's going to be a problem. They're going to want more time on their breaks. Sorry. If you hate me, I'm sorry. But that's just me, man. I think that, we're living in a pretty crazy day. We really are. Mondog, Johnny, what are your thoughts on the Tylenol controversy? It's difficult for me to get pregnant due to my male disposition and my age. I've passed the point of menopause. There it is. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know. What he's talking about is that there seems to be a link with Tylenol and autism. I don't know. I'm not that smart. Also, I think it's in conjunction with vaccines. Now, if you have a kid and he gets a vaccine for something and he gets a fever, what do they tell you to give him? Tylenol. So you kind of see how that link may happen. I don't know. I know this. Here's the thing. I have a son who's on the spectrum, right? And I can look at a kid and watch him interact with others for 5 minutes. I'll say, that kid's on the spectrum. I promise you I can. In fact, looking back on it in high school, I wasn't diagnosed back then, but I can look back and say, man, that kid, Robert, he was on the spectrum. I have a son who is, right? So I'm here in Ecuador 4 or 5 months. I've seen some kids that may be a little bit awkward. It's nothing like it is in America. 20 years ago, it was one in, I can't remember what the numbers are. Now it's like 1 in 27. There's something's going on. Well, do you know what the numbers were years ago?
I remember like time it was 1 in 92 when I started talking.
When Tommy started looking at it, it was 1 in 92. And now it's, 1 in 20 or something, 27. It's just. Styling One says, I've seen at least 20 videos in the last few days, all about Katy Perry the squirrel. Katie's a trip. She's a beautiful animal. She's awfully kind. She's a sweetheart. You remember was it Tylenol that they were tampered? Was that Tylenol, bro? When I lived in, it was San Antonio. No, it was Denton. I lived in Denton. I was running a truck company. And I knew a guy named Richard, and his wife was Marianne. And Marianne was affected by them. She didn't die. Obviously, she didn't die, but she had some, she was never the same. That's crazy. It's really a funny thing. The problem was that's what changed the whole thing. Tamper-proof. You got to peel it off. In this country, if you buy a hot sauce in the store, you untwist it off. There's half the time there's no seal. You just take it off, and there it is. So if somebody wanted to do something, it'd be pretty easy. Anecdotally, I took Tylenol when I was pregnant. My kid who has autism. However, there's lots of autism on both sides of the family. Way before that, I don't think it was a Tylenol. My son was absolutely misdiagnosed for so long. We didn't know. I felt bad. We didn't know. It's crazy. We were at a doctor, and he said, the doctor says your son is autistic. I went, you're nuts, dude. He goes, no, I'm telling you he is. And he took a piece of paper. I'm going to get off in just a few minutes. But Riglo, good to see you. I want to answer your question in just a second. And I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon here. But this doctor was crazy. He took a piece of paper. He took a pen and he made 3 circles. He made 2 eyes and a smile face, 2 eyes, straight face, indicating no affect, then 2 eyes with a frown. And he drew them on a piece of paper and says, if you show this to your son and you ask him which one the happy face is, I'll bet you he won't be able to tell you. I was pissed. I said, you're a nut. I said, seriously, how many years do you go to school? That's what you're telling me? And I went home and I got my son and I sat down. I said, come here, buddy. I want to show you something. I drew the faces. I said, one of these is a smiling face. Which one? And he pointed at the one. I don't remember which one. I think it was a straight one. He goes, it's this one, right, Dad? I'll never forget it. I don't remember which one he picked. All I remember is going into shock for a second. I story time with Uncle Bill. It was crazy. It killed me because there was a time when I remember this one time it was bedtime. And I said, dude, it's bedtime. You got to go. He goes, come on, 5 more minutes. I said, bedtime. You got to go now. And he would work me like you can't. Katie's going crazy. She just ripped the ball off that thing. Katie. She just ripped the ball off that thing. Is it gone? I can't believe she did that. Oh, is it? Anyway, I said to him, dude, it's bedtime. Stop it. And I was working, and he kept pushing me and pushing me. And I literally went like this. Does this look like the face of a happy dad? And when I had that, when the doctor said he won't be able to tell because they have trouble reading faces, it was unbelievable. Anyhow. So there was one more comment I wanted to get to. Oh, Uncle B says, former addict here, Johnny, long-time follower of the channel. Just stopped in and say hi and spread the glory of God. Thank you. Bless you, Uncle. You know what's funny? When I stopped doing as much chili content, a lot of people did. I had comments, man, subscribe, listen to you talk about God. I want to see you hurt yourself. But then what's happening? That's balanced out. But now lots of people are coming and they're believers. It's a pretty cool thing. This is the last question I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to go. Hope you guys don't mind. I appreciate you all being here. I love you all. Riglow says, do you have stomach issues or any permanent damage from eating hot foods? Well, I'll tell you what. If they were going to hurt you, I'd be the guy, right? Not at all. I've had more stomach cramps. If I had $1 for every hour I had stomach cramps, I'd have a lot of dollars. I hurt myself a lot, but it's not permanent. It doesn't burn your taste buds off. It doesn't hurt your stomach. I mean, it doesn't cause ulcers. In fact, it does the exact opposite. It's good for your stomach. There's so many people that have gastric, so many bad stomach problems. I mean, from like IBD, you name it, and from eating peppers, or there's so many people that watch this channel that had ulcers that eat peppers, and they're fine now. So
remember, people in Latin America, colon cancer, so much.
Yeah, there's not much colon cancer in America, and they also don't go bald.
Yeah, well, it didn't help us with that.
It did not. All right, you guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm going to wrap it up now. Please do me a favor. Go over and see Tommy. He's going to be starting at the top of the hour. No, 5 minutes. Well, I appreciate you all. I really do. Thank you, my mom. I love you. Everybody took the time to come here. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow, probably be a little bit more exciting. Real quick here, I want to touch on this. They do cure ulcers. And here's the thing. That while they will not cause an ulcer, and this is the gospel truth, I wouldn't lie to you. Here's Tommy's channel. It'll be up next. Peppers will not cause an ulcer. You know what they will do? They will diagnose one way quicker than any doctor. Like if you go to a doctor and say, I have an ulcer, but you won't even be done with the paperwork. You think you have an ulcer, you eat a pepper, way before that paperwork's done, you're going to know you have an ulcer. It will not cause one, but boy, you will know real quick if you've got one. And that's the truth. But they do not cause ulcers. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Please join Tommy 5 minutes after the hour. And again, thanks all for hanging out. Tomorrow we'll have I'm not sure. Maybe we'll do a 1 hot minute. We're going to have 2 1 hot minutes this week. Not 1, but 2. We're going to see you guys soon. Put a little steel in your spine. We're all going to need it. I'm Johnny Scoville. This is Chase the and the Love Train. Tomorrow.